Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome you back to our One City Merchant Challenge playthrough with the Humankind Victor Open Dev. Things have really started heating up as of last session as we went to war with the Mycenaeans. We are on the front foot for sure. We have taken over one of their cities. It looks as though they are establishing themselves up north over here next though, and all we really have to do is chase them down, hunt them down, finish them off, and show them who's boss. Again, just seeking vengeance for some of the harassment up north over here from a couple of sessions ago. We'll maybe try and look at turning them into vassals, or perhaps we'll let them keep some land, because of course if they hold land, I suppose we can trade with them, but we want to try and minimize their strength, of course. But yes, the war is very much going in our favor. We just have to get their war support down to 0, which we can do by, yes, chasing them and hunting them down. Beyond that, just very quickly want to reference one thing that I was touching on the previous session, and that was with regards to trade routes and how I felt like I was so sure that you can actually see active trade routes. I was actually mistaken. Actually, I was not mistaken. Future PartyElite over here coming in as the editor to correct a little mistake from past PartyElite. You can, in fact, see current trade routes, but you have to see it as it exists between yourself and one specific other culture. So, for example, I can take a look at the Olmecs over here, and if I head over to trade, I can take a look at our exports, and there you can see the path that our exports take, and alternatively, I can of course take a look at the imports, but since we're not importing anything, we don't see any paths. Now, like I was saying, this is on a per culture basis, so depending on who you're trading with, you're going to see the various import or export paths, and if you're not trading anything in particular, then you're obviously not going to see anything. When you go to buy something, for example, if we try to buy dye from the Hittites, you can see actually, apparently there's no connection, so terrible example I've picked over there. Why don't we go ahead back to the Olmecs over here. If we try to purchase, let's say, some silver from these guys, it will give us an indication of where that silver is going to come from, and it will also tell us exactly how we're going to be acquiring that silver, in this case, via land. In the future, by sea is an option, and I suspect down the line in a future era, you'll be able to do it by air as well, at least depending on what the resource actually is. So I assume this information is presented so you can kind of keep an eye out for which trade routes might get blockaded, which trade routes might cause some issues or friction with others, and yeah, so you are in fact able to see the import and export of various goods. However, you cannot see all of them at the same time. It is on a, again, per culture basis. Anyway, back to our regular programming, shall we? Again, folks, if you do have any questions, if you have any feedback, leave them in the comments down below as well. I will try and get you the answers that I don't have, and the answers I do have, I will drop down below, of course. I read comments. I read all the comments, so even if you're watching this months after the video has released, I will see your comment, and if I have an answer, I will provide it to you. And again, if you have feedback or anything, that's great as well. Now, moving on. At the end of last session, we reached the next era, but I'm actually not going to dive into it right away. And there's one key reason for that. It'll only take us a couple of turns to accomplish what I want to accomplish over here, but as the Nubians, we had access to the Meroe Pyramids. The unfortunate truth is, when we move on to the next era, we will no longer have access to these pyramids, and you can see they do come with quite a few benefits. So what I would like to do is actually establish these before we move on to the next era. Now, it'll take 9 turns, which is a bit much, but I have a plan for that. Where would we put these pyramids down, though? There are some decent spots over here. You can see the adjacency bonuses they give us. I would say, initially I was a little worried that this wasn't going to be ideal, but you can see the gold buffs and you can see the exploitation effects and the district effects. It seems like everything's working out all right, and if we establish some makers' quarters up top over here, we'll be able to take advantage of those as well, and then eventually we'll be exploiting whatever this resource is, and that should further the gold gain from these pyramids. Plus, it's nice to have the pyramids attached to our city as well, I suppose. However, as I was saying earlier, it'll take a bit of time. There's something we can do about that, and when we do the thing we can do about that, which I'm just about to do, it'll actually unlock more tiles as options too. Up over here, we have one of our outposts that we established quite some time ago. It is currently building the copper mine. We're actually going to go ahead and rush that construction, get that copper mine done. Not too expensive at all. We're making a decent bit of money. And now we're going to go ahead and attach that outpost to our city of Kerma. The reason why I want to do that, you'll see in the numbers up over here. Our food, our industry, our, well, money and science I don't think will be impacted, ever so slightly. But you can see primarily that industry especially goes from 21 when we attach it, 51. And what was going to take 9 turns will now take 5 turns. And of course, it's not the only thing that went up in number. Food and money went up as well. What you'll also see is now if I go to build the Marrow Pyramids, I will have access to spots over here as well. Now again, quarters or districts, I suppose. I keep flip-flopping between the term they ultimately went with in the game. Any districts we want to establish, they have to be adjacent to either the outpost itself or the original city or any other districts that we built, right? You can't just kind of randomly build anywhere in the territory. That's only for exploitation of resources, just as a little bit of a heads up, I suppose. So up over here, there are some decent spots as well that we could take advantage of, but I do think that going ahead right next to the actual, core of Kerma is not a bad idea. So let's go ahead and pop you down over here again. It'll take 5 turns, well, 4 turns actually, though with enough money we will be able to rush it, and I think we would be able to if I wonder if we move you over to here. It'll take 4 turns. All right, let's keep you over here. Eventually, we'll be able to afford the rush. And once we get these pyramids up, we'll move on to the next era, because I do want to take advantage of that option. With that done, let's go ahead and turn our attention to this solid yellow border over here, because that implies there is a city over here. And I feel like the Mycenaeans have established themselves up over here. They have an outpost over here that'll be done in 2 turns. And I believe they have... No. Okay, it was this unit that I was remembering. All right, and our own unit is making its way back as well. I'm a little worried about going through Hittite territory. Let's try and avoid their gaze. I don't want to, trigger any friction between us and them. And up over here, let's go ahead and send these warriors up this way, and these Ta-Seti archers will have to wait. And we'll send them together to deal with whatever's going on over here, along with these guys up over here. Cool. Our next bit of technology is available as well. Let's go ahead and figure out exactly what we want to do. I think I want to do the wheel. I think I talked about this a little bit last session. The wheel makes sense. It builds roads. It allows us to move around a bit more quickly. It'll also give us access to chariots when we have the resources we need. They are a very capable unit, the chariot. Masonry over here gives us forced labor as an option, the pottery workshop, and stoneworks. Now, how far away are we from the next tech star, or the next scientist star, I should say? 3 technologies. I'm not going to be that patient. I'm not going to wait that long. We're close to the next agrarian star. We might actually acquire that in this era. That's not a problem. And we're also actually kind of close to the next merchant star, too, if we want to acquire. Again, we don't have to move forward immediately when we hit 7 era stars. We can wait longer and acquire more stars and more fame, specifically, before moving on. But, of course, there's the pressure of getting the cultures that we want to pick out, right? I think we'll go ahead with the wheel, then. Where are we? The wheel. 8 turns. A little reminder that we can enter the new era. That's all good. Remind me later, please, and thank you. What else do we have over here? A couple of troops moving around. We have these guys pulling down over here. Fair enough. Maybe wouldn't have been a bad idea to actually engage these guys and further our war score. Let's go ahead and end the turn there. And with only 3 turns left on these pyramids, I do wonder if I can't afford to rush them now. 285. 1 more turn is all we need. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, again, just as a reminder, the reason why we waited to do this attachment over here is because once we've attached, we're no longer able to build things simultaneously. Whereas, let's say at one of our outposts, well, this one's still being built, at one of our outposts, we are able to do things simultaneously. Again, just as a quick reminder, these guys are still being built as well. All right, fair enough, fair enough. And we're able to move our soldiers up this way quickly as possible. I imagine their city is established somewhere in this fog of war over here, otherwise we would have seen it. Let's pull these guys. This outpost over here as well, right? Well, let's pull these guys down to here. Now let's pull these archers up this way as well. Ah, there you have it. Knossos. Knossos? Knossos? It's a hard K, right? Again, this is one of those unfamiliar territories for me as far as linguistics is concerned, so forgive me. What's going on over here? The flooded lands. Oh dear, I didn't need this right now. An unrelenting deluge of rainfall lashes down upon the great city of Kerma and the surrounding lands. If the rains don't stop soon, the banks of the great river that thread through the city will burst, flooding the adjacent quarters. With limited time and resources, the choices are stark. What do you do? Again, one of those decisions that's triggered by the land that exists in this city. It's actually quite interesting. Kerma wasn't established around any rivers, which did, cost us some time early on. But now that we have attached this outpost to the city, because there are now rivers technically as a part of this city of Kerma, we're seeing this event pop up. But I think we're actually going to have to take a bit of a risk over here. Our options are to gamble, leave it to fate. Maybe the rains will cease. Or cease, I suppose. I don't know about that. We can adapt with a little bit of money, or we could protect with a lot of money. With Protect, there's chance of good consequences, or there's a chance nothing happens, and the same sort of applies across the board. There's a chance of these consequences, or there's a chance of nothing happening. I want that money to get the Marrow Pyramids so we can move on quickly, so I'm going to take a bit of a risk over here, because what's life without risks, folks? Take a gamble over here. Moves us towards individualism. Fair enough. And Adapt would take us towards collectivism. I'm a little uncertain which way I want to lean between those two. Let's stick with the gamble over here, then. And we'll find out in 1 or perhaps 2 turns exactly how that gamble pays off. Alright, so next turn we'll be able to rush you. Otherwise, these guys are still idle down over here. Again, trying to avoid the Hittites. Maybe we travel through this territory over here. Just to play it safe. Move down this way. Go over into our haven over here, as it were. Yeah, sure. Sure. Now, the thing with this city over here, we want to be a one-city merchant, right? Like, that's kind of our angle. In order to do that, we're going to have to, if we end up taking this city, we're going to have to handle that in one of a few different ways. And we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's first win this war, and then we'll have that conversation. There's our agrarian star. Looks like somebody has entered the next era as the Haruppans. Could have very easily been the same thing that I wanted to pick, but I'm very fortunate that it isn't. What else have we got going on over here? Iqleo's population has increased. Okay. The Olmecs are demanding Kang. Which one is Kang? This one is Kang. Why would you want Kang and not Mimosa? I guess Kang has horses and they want horses. It is all adjacent. That's not good. I feel like we're going to have war with the Olmecs. I'm not going to respond to that demand just quite yet. And I think because of this violence between us, our trading of salt and sage has stopped. That's unfortunate. Oh, I really hope they don't declare war on us. If they do, we'll crush them. Foreign war declared between people we do not know. Fair enough. The Hittites. Okay, so the Hittites were probably one of the 2 actors in that war that we don't know about because they've been labeled, they've been branded traitors. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. We might have to go to war with them as well. Let's see what it comes to, right? No point worrying about it right now. Now here, are we able to strike? We are. Their defenses are not that strong. We have 1 unit of warriors. Are you able to get up over here? No, it'll take you a couple turns, eh? Alright, so next turn I suppose we strike. Let's move you up to here. Let's get you up to here. They'll group up next turn and strike at this city. Wonder if... Let's just scout out... Ah, beautiful. I wonder if we can get these guys, actually. They might retreat. But even if they do retreat, that is beneficial to us as well, because it counts as a victory, and it helps with the war score situation. Not forget to move these guys up. They can actually combine right now, it seems. Oh, that was a lie. Game was lying to me. All good. Guys are in trouble, folks. Did not have harassed me. Again, they thought just because I was we're merchants that we wouldn't defend ourselves. We wouldn't avenge our loss. Come on. Let's stay here. A little bit longer to get home. Not the end of the world. What do we have here? A schism in the heart. Followers of the Empire's religion continue to grow, but within the temples and holy places tensions brew. Sadly, the blossoming interpretations of religious tenets is leading to schisms as worshippers place more or less import on different rules. It speaks to a wider question of how other entire religions should be seen. Is religious harmony something to aspire to, or a question that shouldn't even be raised? We don't yet have a civic point. It'll be next turn that we get one, but this gives us either open-minded or religious hostility as choices. Open-minded gives us +5 influence on territories under a religion's influence if territories follow the state religion. Now, our faith is doing quite well as far as its spread is concerned. Looks like the Olmecs are gaining some ground, whatever religion they follow, which is fine, though. There's a fair bit of influence to be gained over here, actually. I think we'll go with that when the time comes to pick a civic next turn. Continue the movement of our armies. These guys are coming back to become a part of the population here. So I do wonder if I don't want to attack these guys. We're just barely stronger than them. We might come out on top. It might be a draw. They might retreat. You know what? I'm thinking we go ahead and pop if we put ourselves down over here, they might come down this way. Alright, let's try this. Go ahead and engage them. And we might actually be able to auto-resolve this. We have the advantage. I wonder if I want to pull up. Actually, let's fight this one. I would like to win it. Let's fight this one. Let's put ourselves up over here. There's no saying if they'll come chasing us, but if they do, that would be great. And then we could use our higher ground. They might come up over here, of course. But we can come up over here. We could move into defensive mode. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. We're going to stay put over there. Let's just enter into defend mode. See how they move. Nah, they're going to stay put. Of course, I don't blame them. So let's move in, I suppose. First strike in. The damage done. They're going to return the favor, I imagine. Oh, they're not going to... Nah, it's going to end up as a draw here. Too bad. But hey, we caused some damage. At least there's that. I doubt they'll strike us now. Yeah. Defeat. Counts it as a defeat. That's unfortunate. Wiped over here. I don't like that. I don't like how that plays out necessarily. What does that do to our war support?
What do you desire?
It's okay. It's not the end of the world. That should have been a victory. I should have just stuck with the original plan, but hey. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, as they say, right? Let's go ahead and pay for these Marrow Pyramids so we can move on to the next era. Excellent. We should consider our next construction over here as well. I don't think it's a bad idea to maybe get a unit built. We do have access to these Spearmen. Strength of 20 versus the Warriors with a strength of 17. Go ahead and establish these guys. It'll take a little bit of money to make them, but 2 turns. Get that going. We will not have access to our next era's special unit right off the bat. It'll take us a bit of time to get the technology we need. Let's go ahead and move on to that next era. Let's do it. So, like I said last session, I already had someone in mind. Looks like the Olmecs have become the Mayans. Fair enough. But like I was saying last session for myself, I had somebody in mind. Some of you who are perhaps eagle-eyed maybe saw exactly where I was going to go. Our options, if you want to stay as merchants, are 2. Otherwise, we would have the option of, again, staying as the Nubians. The Axumites are one of the merchant options. There's the Greeks, they are scientists. The Carthaginians are the other merchant option. The Celts are agrarian. The Goths are militarist. Huns also militarist. We have the Mayans, who are builders. The oh god. I always know how to say this, and I'm stumbling over it right now. The Achaemenid Persians, there we go. They're expansionists. The Romans are also expansionist. And the Mauryans, unfortunately, not an option for us, but they are aesthete. We are going to forgo the Carthaginians and instead go with the Axumites. And again, you can see just how different they are. With the Axumites, we get Horn of Plenty, plus 10% money generated from ongoing trade on city or outpost. We're very trade-centered, right? Compare that to the Carthaginians with a modified constructible buyout cost by negative 50%. These guys are more about sort of, I guess, building and using buildings and industry, as opposed to the Axumites, who are about, you know, the physical movement of goods. You can see as well their unique quarter or district or what have you is the Great Obelisk. Plus 1 money per territory under the religion's influence. That's quite huge. Plus 3 faith, and plus 1 money in general as well. And then plus 3 money per adjacent market quarter, and plus 1 trader slot on city or outpost. So that's quite nice. Whereas the Carthaginians, they have the Kothon, which is for district fortification, industrial gains as well. And if you take a look at the units, we have the War Elephant, of course, for the Carthaginians. And the Axumites have access to the Shotalai. Though we will need the standing army technology, and we'll also need iron in order to take advantage of that. Now, because we're so trade-focused, we're going to go with the Axumites. If we were more sort of coastal-focused and maybe a bit more leaning towards, I guess, war and naval exploration, we might have gone the Carthaginian route. But no, we are going to go with the Axumites. And from a geographical perspective, it also makes sense for our cultural evolution, I suppose you could say. But one thing to note as well, while we will be gaining Horn of Plenty, we will be losing access to our Marrow Pyramids. They'll be replaced with the Great Obelisk. However, we will be keeping access to the Tasseti Archers and Golden Dreams. So these benefits will follow through to the next era, and the next era, and the era after that, and after that as well. But with that said, folks, let's go ahead and become the Axumites. And there's our new getup as well, as all of our benefits and stuff outlined. Go ahead and confirm that. The one who controls the market controls the world.
As urban centers grow, both ideas and sewage are generated at a record pace. Arts and sciences flourish as military tactics and mathematical equations become as coveted as physical goods. Empires struggle to control these intangibles, however, as some might trouble their stability.
I love that last shot. The colors in that are so good. So good. Again, I like the writing as well for those little cinematics, but there you have it. Our people move on to the next era. You can see some slight upgrades happening. If we had more cities and more things built up, you'd see more of the buildings kind of upgrading to the new era. But if we take a quick look at Kerma over here, you'll see right away, yeah, we do not have access to the pyramids. We do have that great obelisk, though. And just to point it out, we have still Golden Dreams. And you can see how these, like, Horn of Plenty will stay with us, Golden Dreams will stay with us. And from our, you know, tribal days, our pick for astronomy as storytellers, that's staying with us as well. So moving forward, again, because we are the merchants, our primary way of acquiring fame and stars at the same time is through mercantile efforts. We are very close, actually, to the expansionist stars, and we're not going to have too much trouble, I don't think, with anything else. It'll quite naturally happen through war, through research, and all that kind of stuff. Looking pretty good so far. Looking pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Let's go ahead and defeat the Mycenaeans once and for all, I think, right? Looks like we've had a bit of a rebellion down over here. These are the Axumite rebels from, I guess, Mycenae. Again, I don't know how to say this, I'll be honest with you guys, and I apologize for that. From Mycenae, Mycene, I don't know. But they'll be, I don't think they're actually at war with us per se, but they have reduced the population of this city. Again, which either will or will not stay as a city. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and strike down over here, though. Yeah, we should be able to hit him this turn. Pull you up to here. Pop you into this stack over here. And pop you into the stack over here as well. And then we're going to go ahead and attack. We do have strength over our enemies. But let's go ahead and actually watch the fight. Why not? Let's go ahead and assault them. Confirm the battle. And make sure we're properly laid out over here. Unfortunately, our archers will be at least somewhat exposed. Unfortunately, but it's not the end of the world. We can't deploy at the back. We'll have to, like, pull back if we want to. But for starters, sure, let's go ahead and end the deployment there. You'll see over here they did not have time to build up any palisades or anything like that, so they're not going to be able to defend themselves as well as they were able to down over here, if you'll recall. So we have that going for us, which is great. Our archers are able to fire away at these guys, and then our warriors will hopefully be able to finish them off, and that will protect our archers. So fire away over here. They do still have the +6 from fortification, actually. Oh, okay, interesting. It's unfortunate. What about these guys back over here? They don't have that +6. However, these guys are a more immediate threat, I suppose. I mean, not I suppose, they very much are. These guys will be able to reach us eventually, though. Won't take them long to get to us. Fire away. There we go. And fire away up over here with you. Good hits. Up over here. A good bit of damage. Good bit of damage. I wonder if we don't want to... Nah, there's no point. They'll just have the high ground advantage back over there. So, go ahead and strike. Other option was, of course, to go into the defend mode. Get ourselves a +1 without taking any losses there. These guys are going to come after the archers, okay? Wouldn't be surprised. And these guys are coming through as well. Going to hurt a little bit. We're okay. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm trying to not lose any units if possible. Ideally, that would work out. I could try and fire up over there. These guys will... Oh, they actually won't finish off whoever they engage. That's unfortunate. But let's go ahead and fire up over here. Good shooting. Good shooting. Finish these guys off. Let's fire over here and hope it wipes them out. Probably not. Hey, there it is. Beautiful. That worked out wonderfully. Let's finish these guys off. Victory is ours. Another city taken. Nice. That went pretty well, actually. I was a little concerned at the end there, but we got lucky. We got lucky. Sometimes the damage dealt that it expresses is a little off. There's a little bit of room, there's a little bit of wiggle room, which I quite like, actually. I do quite like that. Go ahead and pull these guys down over here. Actually, we can probably disband them right over here, and they'll become part of the population. Go ahead and check that. What are we looking at here? Pop of 7. If we disband you here, get a pop of 8. You don't have to actually be in the city to increase the population through disbanding. You just have to be within the city limits, which is, you know, the entirety of this area now. With all that done, let's go ahead and take a quick gander over here. We do need to build our artisan's quarter to take advantage of the salt up here, right? Up over here, we have our horse ranch almost done. 4 turns until that happens. And then down over here, 8 turns until the ebony over here is being exploited. Kind of slow. A little slow, but not the end of the world. We've got time. What's the deal with this war, though? Population gain at Kang, fair enough. But the Morians... Ah, there we go. That's the Morians becoming the Morians. We can vote on a civic. Okay, thanks for the reminder. I actually needed it that time. So let's go ahead and... There's that loss of population because of the low stability. The two pops that became rebels. And victory against the Mycenians. Yes. So let's go ahead and pick ourselves a civic. I think we'll... look, this area is converting to Axumite as well. I think we take a look at... Sorry, it's religion that I need to worry about. Oh, yeah. We have full, like, religious dominance as well. So let's take a look at these civics over here. We have a couple of options. Independent peoples are not yet super relevant, I think. Cultural blessing, what is this? Oh, this is with regards to conversion. +5 influence on main plaza isn't bad. Though, I think religious tolerance. +5 influence on territories under a religion's influence if territories follow state religion. That should be right if I'm reading it right. So we're at +72 right now. Always a learning opportunity, right? So +72 becomes, as we enact this and move ourselves towards a world view as opposed to a homeland view, sort of globalism versus isolationism, I suppose, is the way to look at it, maybe. Let's go ahead and enact that. And we go from +72 to +112. Cannot complain about that. Pretty soon, we'll be able to afford a wonder of the world as well. Let's go ahead and see what the deal is with the Mycenians. I imagine this defeat has, yeah, they have no cities or anything, so I imagine we'll be able to force a peace over here. Oh, no, they are still willing to fight. Okay, fair enough. So we'll have to chase down some of their units. These guys are almost done. Why don't we go ahead and rush you for 82 gold? Because that way next turn they'll be able to move. Now let's go ahead and start working on exploiting the obsidian over here. And again, it'll work in tandem with the pyramids to give us further benefits. We'll want to establish some market quarters too to take advantage of the Great Obelisk, right? Because that works better with adjacent market quarters. We'll want to take a look at that as well soon, I would say, soon. Down over here, these guys are still coming back home. Good. More population. Right? And that looks like everybody. Fantastic. A little bit of hunting to do up over here, it seems. And maybe down over here as well, and that should tip the war in our favor, I think. Mutinous and... Again, Knossos, I assume. New wonder can be claimed. So wonders cost influence to claim. So again, another reason why influence is so important. You needed to establish outposts. You needed to attach outposts. You needed to claim wonders. It is a very important resource. Close to victory in the war. Okay, that typically means that the Mycenians have lost all their war support. So I guess we just needed to wait a turn. And that's not so ideal. The Morians got a nice bit of war support, and so they have declared war upon us. The Morians are the folks up over here. The Olmecs became the Morians, and they are probably declaring this war with the interest of taking that one place that they demanded. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Kind of saw it coming. Okay. But that's okay. That's okay. Goes to a war victory, end of the war between the Hittites and the Mycenians. Trade route destroyed between us and the Morians. That's not ideal. And the Morians are now known as traitors. Beautiful. Hopefully that'll bring some people together against them. I'm tempted to attack these guys. The bigger the difference between our war scores at this stage, the more we can demand of the Mycenians. But I kind of want to prepare for war against the Morians now. Sure, let's go ahead and push for this peace then. To manage our relationship, you can see the war support is at 0. If we go for the war resolution, what it does here, this is kind of unfortunate. If we wanted to vassalize these Mycenians, we totally can demand that. However, we would need 150 war support total. Now, how that's calculated is it takes... It adds how much they lost to how much we have on our side. So they lost 100, right? They're at 0, so they've lost technically 100 war support, whereas we have 74 war support, so our total war support is 174. And we spend that war support to get various demands. Now, you might be wondering, well, hang on a second, party. Becoming a vassal costs only 150. We should be able to afford that. Except, no. Our demands from earlier, those reparations for the harassment, those demands have to be included in the terms, and they cost 10 each. And I should have thought of that before I declared that war, and it's unfortunate that I didn't. We could, now in this Victor Open Dev, it's been a little buggy at times, I'll let you know frankly, but we could go on and fight some more and increase our war support even more to rack up the support. Now either it's a bug or it's an intended feature. Hopefully somebody will provide me with an explanation. But I've found that sometimes after you've opened this screen up for war resolution, if you go back and try and increase your war support by whatever means, it doesn't actually reflect down over here. The support will go up, but these numbers won't change. Now, I don't know if that's because we've engaged the conversation already, or if it's because of a bug, but just putting that out there so you guys know what's up. So, we can't make them our vassals, but like I think, hinted at the beginning of this session, I'm not sure if I exactly want to do that anyway. I wouldn't mind going to war with them again. I wouldn't mind keeping them alive just to trade with them, except keeping them in check as well. We can, however, demand quite a few territories. There's at least one that we can't take, because it's not adjacent. Okay, fair enough. There's Alcor, Dube, Subra, Baekdu, and Orcalis. Now, what are they actually called? This is something that gets confusing. So this is Subra. Okay, fair enough. That's Alcor. Okay. They have this other one being formed up over there. What I could try and do is, okay, if we take Subra, I don't know which one this is. Go over here. War resolution. Presumably, Baekdu and Orcalis are the cities, right? Why aren't these named what they should be named? You know what I mean. How do I find out the name over here? Not sure. Would I want Subra? Subra has marble, right? We don't want this city, but we have potential solutions for that. No worries there. Alright. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we go ahead and ask for... Alcor is this one, right? Up over here. Sorry. Gotta click on it. Alcor is this one. Yeah. We can get this. Get the gemstones. A mysterious strategic resource and iron. So this is something from a later era, actually. Alright. And then we can try and figure out what this is. Oof. God, I hope I get this right. If I get this wrong, it's still fine. That's definitely something that needs fixing. So, the Alcor. Dube is, I think, that farther one away. And I wonder... Oh, that's too bad. I kind of wish I'd got this going for a little bit longer. Let me see something here. Let me see something here, because these guys are right here. Can I reach them? No, right? Yeah, no. Alright, fine. Let's just take this piece. I apologize for the waffling there. I just wanted to make sure we got ourselves the best possible piece over here. We could get Subra, Dube, and Alcor. That's all their territories, leaving them with the cities, so we don't actually have to deal with them, which isn't terrible. That is an option, though I wouldn't mind having the marble and the obsidian over here. That they can keep Dube. I see what the issue is. Take Orcalis. Nope, take Baekdu. Interesting, they won't let me take these because it'll be their elimination. But I can take them separately. Alright, so give us Subra and give us Alcor. How about that then? And you want to give us Dube too. Sure. If these two are in fact the cities, which is what I'm assuming because of the higher requirement of war support, we'll let them keep their cities but take all of their territories. Yeah, sure. And then we'll get the 200 gold as reparations as well for the remaining war support rather. Ugh. Don't know if this is ideal, but force that surrender.
I commend your decisions. I can no longer watch my peace.
Yeah. Well, there's our victory. Not too bad. As you can see, we've got this outpost over here. This outpost already belonged to us. We've got this one as well. We've got Subra 2 over here. This one's the one that's called Subra, right? Yeah. I don't know why that name kind of stuck with me. But yeah, so our expansion continues. We let them keep their 2 cities. I wouldn't have minded taking this back, but I guess we didn't war for long enough, and we didn't get that war support high enough before we opened that screen up. It's not the end of the world. If we have to war with them again, we'll take it. In some ways, actually, it's kind of funny how we caused a rebellion over here that dropped the population of the city, and now the Mycenaeans are going to suffer for it, so that's great. I doubt that they'll be willing to trade with us, not anytime too soon. We'll see if they'll open their minds to trading. They have no chance in defeating us, so hopefully they'll work with us. And let's go ahead and pull these guys back and away, and hopefully heal them as they return home. You not... Excuse me. There we go. Weird. Oh, I see. It's because I was giving the end zone... Okay, I get it. I was ordering them in enemy territory, and it wasn't allowing me to do that. But as long as I give the final order in my own territory, we'll be fine. I say enemy territory, I just mean non-friendly territory. Okay, let's go ahead and claim ourselves a wonder. So let's go ahead and claim ourselves a wonder. In a way as well, actually, opening up the screen reminds me it's good that we didn't take these because we can still stay single city without having to ransack the city and destroy it. Though that was what I had in mind. Ransack the city, destroy it, build our own outpost, and take advantage of obsidian and marble down over here. But hey, listen, if we have to declare another war, we will. Which of these wonders to get? There's the Temple of Artemis, there's the Stonehenge, the Pyramid of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, got the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, we have the Statue of Zeus, the Lighthouse of Alexandria, and the Colossus of Rhodes. None of these are particularly inclined towards trade, I don't think, unfortunately. We got some science benefits over here, more stability, alright. We have the pyramids. I mean, there is a history between Nubians and Egyptians. They have different types of pyramids, Nubians and Egyptians, but there is a history of where, like, Nubian, a lot of Egyptian pharaohs were actually of Nubian descent. So we can do the pyramids of Giza as kind of a sort of connection there. The Stonehenge would obviously be a very different kind of an approach for the region. We don't have to stay loyal to the region or geography or anything like that, but just something to think about. There's also the Temple of Artemis for extra health regeneration on a unit. Your units ignore movement penalties from forests, also not bad. It's also considered a holy site, but does not count towards the holy site cap, which means that our religious tenet, which gives us more gold, would help us out. Maybe we go with the Temple of Artemis. Tempting, tempting. Very tempting. There's the Statue of Zeus. These will take some time for us to build as well. This is also a holy site, and you know what? It gives us plus 5% money per alliance. We don't have that many alliances right now, but it's the most sort of money-oriented. So there's that. And I do like the Lighthouse of Alexandria as well. It kind of reflects trade routes over sea, right? Let's go ahead with the Statue of Zeus. It's a holy site. We'll take advantage of that. It's also sort of fiscally oriented. We just got to make some alliances. Oh, sure, the Statue of Zeus it shall be. It'll cost us 250 influence to claim, and the next one will cost even more to claim. But if we get this thing built and we have enough influence, we'll be able to claim the next one. Each can only be claimed once. Now, once I claim it... Yep, let's do it. Once I claim this wonder, nobody else will be able to claim it, and I won't be able to claim the next one until I build that first one. So that's something to keep in mind. We'll want to, like, rush that. It'll take 53 turns, though. We gotta up our production or something. Or we can sacrifice population to build wonders. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's go ahead and rush these artisans' quarters. And let's take a look at the situation over here with the Mayans.
We'll talk later. First, let there be war.
Alright. Alright, let's, yeah, we'll talk later. There's war now. Let's get to it. Let's go ahead and recruit some more units over here. What I could do is I could establish a garrison. Garrisons are, you can basically recruit units at a garrison instead. So for example, if I need reinforcements up front, if I put a garrison down over here, again, this is a unique type of district that you can place anywhere in a territory. If I put the garrison down over here, I can recruit units right up over here to push against the Mayans. Sorry, I was forgetting who they were currently. But I can only build it here because we've attached this outpost. I'd have to attach more outposts if I want to build them further up. Now, do I have enough actually influence to do that? 104. So next turn we'll have enough influence to attach this one. So why don't we go ahead and wait? A little bit of patience goes a long way. Instead, we can go ahead and build what? We can work towards... Public ceremonies will take too long. We've got these watchtowers we can build. We could try and do some flood irrigation. Will help us gain food from these rivers up over here. 5 turns it'll take. We'll be able to rush it. Next turn, you know, after we've reduced the cost a little bit. Fair enough. These guys are up over here. These guys, let's go ahead and send you up in that general direction. Let's get these guys. Ooh, how am I actually going to cross this territory to come back home? I think we'll be able to. What's the deal here? Oh, the flooded lands, the result from that situation. Fortune favors you. The skies above Kerma grew darker and darker, the deluge like a sea being tipped upon a city. But then, suddenly, the clouds parted, and the rains relented. Days of sunshine followed, and the threat of floods are no more. Okay, this can actually be a pretty devastating event, so I'm glad we did get very lucky there. The ground is a little wetter, and people will not forget. But otherwise, life is normal again. Beautiful. Luck is truly with us today. Alright, that's the turn done. Moving on, moving on. Everything's looking alright. Decently pleased with how that war ended, actually. We've gained a lot of territory, and we can attach all of it as well eventually. In fact, let's go ahead and on the topic of attachments, the first thing we'll do this turn is attach... Ooh, here comes a ransack, I think. Okay, maybe a little risky to go that far up. These guys are down here as well. Who are you? Scouts, okay. And up over here we have 2 sets of warriors and 2 sets of javelin throwers. So that's an actual army up there. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and attach the lower region over here. I don't know if it's the... Yeah, it produces a decent bit of food, at least. And there's, why can we not exploit the horses over here? Strange. We should be able to build a ranch over here, just like we were doing up over here. Almost done. Very strange. Either way, not the end of the world. I'll go ahead and attach you. Go. Hang is now more officially ours, just like forcing the issue, I suppose. And now we can establish our garrison. Up top over here, we have the high ground. It can be surrounded. That's unfortunate. We could... If the enemy gets up over here, they'll have the high ground. They'll have level ground with us, but apart from that, it's all low ground around. Up over here, we'll have high ground. They can get level ground with us, but otherwise, again, all low ground around. And we have the benefit of not being able to take attacks from these two sides until, you know, naval warfare and naval bombardments become a thing. This seems reasonable. Sure. Go ahead and place you over here. How much does it cost? 457. Don't mind if I do. Excellent. And now we can actually recruit units up over here. So let's say, for example, we want to get some spearmen, right? Pay for them. Establish this as my land unit spawn location. Go ahead and pay that money. There you have it. So, despite only having one city, we're not restricted with regards to where we can recruit units and where we can provide, you know, reinforcements to and from. Now, that might have been a bit premature, to be honest. But, again, this is a bit of a showcase series, right? I'm just trying to show how this game works at the same time as play it. Well, you guys up over here as we'll travel through the lands. We'll hopefully heal up and get ready for this this war properly, eh? Complete your movements. That is our turn done. And I really do wish that eventually they add notifications for when these outposts aren't building anything or doing anything. But you can't do anything, so fair enough. Let's go ahead and end the turn there. Alright, growing populations. New grievances available against who? Ah, the Hittites. They've attacked me. Okay, fair enough. We won't push that demand. You chased me into my own territory. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'll go ahead and pull back from here. I don't want these people to die uselessly, but that's inappropriate. I would much rather have a... we have a trade agreement. What about a non-aggression pact?
Hail, friend. I have a notion which would benefit us both.
They want money back.
Despite your good...
We'll see what comes of it. Up over here, go ahead and hang tight for now. Looks like they didn't actually ransack. I was concerned there, and maybe my concern was misplaced, but it's okay. Keep your turn over here. These guys are... It'll take us some time. Have we got roads yet? No. One turn, and then we'll have roads. These guys moving up as well. Yep. 3 turns until this is done. Again, what we can do always is like get these Tasseti archers. Go ahead and pay for these guys. And at least now this army up top over here has some additional strength to it, right? Cool. And that's our turn there. Things are looking pretty good. The wheel has been researched. Beautiful. And you'll actually see the roads on the map, of course, get put down right away. And we should now be able to move a fair bit faster, I think. Still roughly about the same. But it does speed you up significantly. Yeah, I think that is actually a little bit faster. We're going a long distance. It's helpful in its own way. The Mycenaeans wish to speak with us. What do you want?
Us, but that doesn't mean you've won.
They're sullen. Okay. Fair enough. And up over here, the Hittites. They've attacked me again, have they? I don't like this. I don't want to be at war with everybody. Oh, it's unfortunate. They're going to win this one. Our side is weaker overall. Fine. Auto-resolve that. I'll take the defeat. Don't like that. I don't think they like the fact that we're down over here. They probably want it for themselves. Fair enough. A little bit of border friction. I was going to say never hurt anybody, but it's very clearly hurting us right now. Guys, yeah, let's go ahead and put over here. Use our next technology. I'm thinking we could go with fishing and then sailing. Maybe organized warfare is not a bad idea either. To get those battering rams as a siege weapon, used to destroy walls. But we should also consider the next era itself as well. Standing army gives us access to our Shotalai. We've already got bronze working, so why don't we go ahead and do that. Standing army gives us also access to iron. So, you know what, let's do organized warfare, and then we'll do the standing army right after that. Yeah, because I feel like we'll need those battering rams sooner rather than later. Alright, done there. Get all your move orders. Go ahead and close that. And that is our turn. Just want to keep an eye on the food situation over here. 22 per turn. I want to see how much it bumps up by when we finish this construction. Okay, Mimosa has converted to a new religion. That's Nubian shamanism. Excellent. Foreign wars declared. The Hittites have been known as a level 2 trader. Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with that assessment. The Babylonians now feel differently about us. They're afraid. Interesting. Well, why don't we talk about afraid if you're afraid? Okay, excellent. They've agreed. Cool. What's the deal over here? A separation of powers. Religious community participation has been waning for years as the empire's cultural strength grows, and now is the right time to remove religious authority from political power. Should religion solely become a matter of personal faith? Sorry. Should religion solely become a matter of personal faith, though, or does it still have a part of play in civic society? Part to play, perhaps, in civic society? Irreligion. We can either go with state atheism, which will lock all religious civics, so we'll lose the benefits of open-minded, but we'll get refunded that civic point that we spent, or we can go with secularism, which will make us immune to religious grievances, like you're oppressing my people of my faith, or anything like that. Something to think about, but we don't have a civic point just quite yet. The Babylonians have signed our treaty for trade. Excellent. We got a couple of units moving into... Come on, let's go. You guys are moving up as well. We'll have to make 2 separate armies. A maximum cap of 4 until we can unlock more down the line. Why'd you... Why would you do that? And you dancing back and forth. Why would you... Okay. Okay. It's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. These guys... They put for 1 more turn? Yeah, I should have just established the garrison up over here instead. All good. All good. But yes, over here we go from 22 food per turn to 32. That's not bad. We've unlocked one of the aesthete stars as well, giving us the first star of this era, moving us closer towards the medieval era. And I've got some plans for the medieval era as well with regards to the culture we're going to pick. Maybe that's why our path was disrupted. We have this little group over here that's moving towards us. Relatively weak. These are just the scouts, I think, that we earlier saw over here. Before we attack them, let's actually form these guys up over here. Let's recruit 1 more unit. We've got the money for it. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. Let's go ahead and get some... Ooh, we could get the chariot if we start taking advantage of some copper. I guess we need 1 more copper, actually. We just have the 1. We need 1 more. I could see if the Mycenaeans want to trade some with us. Oh, that'd be rich. That'd be rich. Chariots are not bad. Alright, you know what? Oh, would you look at that? They actually want to trade with us. Okay, sure. Yeah. I do agree, yes. How about we go beyond that and trade everything? Because copper is a strategic resource, not a luxury resource. They refused. Okay. Yeah, we can't buy it. It's almost like they know we're going to use it against them eventually, so they don't want to give it to us. And I don't blame them for that. Fair enough. These guys want to trade everything, the Babylonians. Alright, let's accept that. Maybe they have copper. They don't. They're just buying from us, and I'm okay with that. We're making money, right? So no complaints there. What do we have over here? An idle city, of course. Let's go ahead and in that case establish... these scout riders are not that great, I'll be honest. They're like decently quick. They can close gaps to ranged units and things like that. The enemy does have some javelin throwers, as we saw. That'd be a terrible idea, actually. Alright, fine. You know what? Let's go ahead and get these guys. It'll only take 1 turn, so we don't even have to spend the money if we don't want to. Though I will want to take a look at a horse ranch over here, maybe. It'll also just take 1 turn. Another resource to sell. It'll take 2 turns total with the scout riders included, but you know what I mean. What else have we got going on over here? These guys are idle up there. Keep them there for now. Let's go ahead and Unfortunately, I don't know if we can attack them this turn. Should be able to. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. They'll retreat. No surprise there. Victory for us. The war support will dwindle. Ours will continue to grow. I wonder if I actually want to chase these guys down. You know what? Do it. You can see how quickly we can move thanks to the roads. Now, because they've already retreated once, much like we can't retreat a second time in the same turn, neither can they. Go ahead and strike at them. And, why don't we confirm the battle here? Have some fun. They'll probably stay pretty far back. This deployment is fine by me. We're going to have to scout them out. Try and secure this high ground over here so that we can see where they are. Go ahead and close off their access to our archers as well. So pull these guys down over here. Alright, we have the strength advantage for sure. Let's go ahead and add to it. We can pull up a little bit. Because if I'm not mistaken, if we pull up, we will have that +1 from friendly units, giving us a bit more damage to cause. Or a bit more of an opportunity to cause more damage. Go ahead and fire away. Go. And we can strike, or we can go into defense mode. You know what? Let's go into defense mode. They're spears. Hold your ground. I don't think they're going to come towards us, and that's fine by me. Oh, or they are. That actually works out amazingly for me, because I was going to pull these guys down to get a better surround, but they've given themselves the low ground disadvantage. Let's fire away first and kill them without taking any losses ourselves. Beautiful. Just a couple of scouts. Not a surprise that we won that one, but still nice to win it. Still nice to win it. And that is our turn over here, right? Yeah. Good stuff. Influence continues to grow. I wonder if we shouldn't attach some more of these spots. Let's take a quick look. 9 turns. You're done. We could try and take advantage of the sage over here next. Right? 15 turns to get that done, or we can just pay for it if we feel it's necessary. Down over here. You just got established, so let's go ahead and get the tea. Oh, what are the chances? Through that war, we did in fact acquire tea after all. Wonderful. You know what? I think we all know where my priorities lie. Tea it shall be. 10 turns it'll take. We can rush it. God knows we have the money. There's a saffron down here as well. And what else do we have? None of the other outposts have anything to build, I believe. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Eventually, I would like to claim this territory up over here when we can move via sea, because I would like to have access to the pearls. And it's 2 sets of pearls up over here, actually. So that would be excellent. But we have to be able to embark in order to do that. Maybe I should consider that as a upcoming bit of research. Maybe. Might not be a bad idea. New grievance is available. The Hittites. They're oppressing my people. Again, it's the cultural situation. Our culture has spread to this region. And because they control it, it's perceived as oppression. Fair enough. I might have a bone to pick with them eventually. Now let's go ahead and pull up over here. See what's going on. Join forces. And down over here, these guys will continue to come up as well. See how far we can actually get. Doing alright, doing alright. Boss is idle. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. They've joined up. They can actually still move, so let's go ahead and move up a bit further. Again, this garrison was quite valuable. Just cutting so much time that we would have wasted otherwise. Could in fact attach you now too. Alright, let's do it. Go ahead and attach you. The other benefit of all these attachments is the expansionist star. Depending on how many territories we have attached to one city, or multiple cities across various cities, we get expansionist stars as well. So we'll go from 6 to... Hang on now. Own 9 territories attached to any city, including the city's territory. Current value 6. Well, that's strange. I wonder if it'll only count it next turn. That should have worked. That should have worked. Either way, not the end of the world. What I can do now, though, is go ahead and get one of these established up over here. High ground. River crossing being forced upon the enemy. This is not bad. Oh, let's pop you down over there. And let's actually... Ooh, we can't rush it. Alright. We'll wait. We'll wait. I don't think we'll need reinforcements too quickly. I think we'll have some time at least. Puppet Master has been locked by another empire. That could have been ours. Puppet Master means be a liege over somebody else. And it looks like the... what are these guys? The Babylonians are a vassal of the Hittites. So there was a war over there, and the Hittites won. Fair enough. Up over here, continue making our moves. Unfortunately, these river crossings are going to slow us down as we venture forth. Sure. We'll give time to catch up down over here. Fair enough. What else is going on down over here? These guys are working on this. Let's go ahead and pay for it. Again, we've got the money. And now up over here, we can build some reinforcements. How long will it take for us to produce some warriors or spearmen? Perhaps some more scout riders. Because we've got, what, 2 sets of archers, a set of warriors, 2 sets of spearmen. We got 1, 2, 3 melee, 1, 2, 3 range, and then 1 cavalry unit. I hesitate to call them cavalry. Hesitate. But you know what? It'll take only 1 turn. Fair enough. Just bolster our numbers a little bit up there. Again, just having a check to make sure these guys are all good. We're fine. Okay, end the turn there. Continue to grow. There's our organized warfare, so now we'll be able to use reinforcements in battle. This is a technology we've been waiting for some time. Barracks is going to help us as well to just adjust costs, as you can see at the bottom there. And there's also the battering ram, which we can only build when you actually engage in a siege. Would have been helpful down south over here last session, but hey, better late than never, right? Better late than never. Why don't we go ahead and establish some makers' quarters and actually try and take advantage of our Marrow pyramids. I think the war will go on okay, and this will actually help us produce reinforcements more quickly. So up over here is a good spot, it looks like. Again, the adjacency bonus over here is a... We knew we were going to do this, so let's not waste time talking about it. I wonder when I want to build this statue of Zeus. The longer I wait, the further away the next monument is for us, the next wonder is for us. We have to be careful, by the way, with attaching territories, because when we attach territories, we lose stability, as you can see over here. You can see -60 from the number of territories. So maybe it's time to consider building as well some of the things like the public fountain, for example. Or I believe there's something we can unlock down the line that further helps. But yeah, definitely should consider the public fountain after the maker's quarters, or maybe even the other way around. You know what? Let's do it the other way around. Yeah, low stability can be problematic. Our faith seems to have unlocked the next tenet. Looks like the Haruppans have already got Bear Not False Witness, giving them a scientific boost. We can go for Undertake Pilgrimage for extra influence from the holy sites. Give Alms is, again, focused around money. +1 money per state religion follower on capital. That should be quite good. I don't know if it's the ideal call, though, I'll be honest. Raise monuments gives us stability per state religion follower. Ooh, that might not be a bad idea, actually. We do need a bit of stability if we're going to go with this one city angle, right? I think it might not be a bad idea to go with Give Alms. Again, we have Tithe the Wealthy. Well, let's stay on brand, right? On theme. Give Alms. Use this tenet. Let me just check real quick here. We are at +105. That takes us up to +139. Because again, it's one massive city, right? Not bad. What do you want from me? Can I actually go to level 3? No. Okay, new tenet for Nubian shamanism. Yeah. Oh, okay, weird. The notification was waiting for that to pop up, I guess. Alright, up over here. I forgot to change where they were. My bad. I forgot to assign this as the spawn point. That's my bad. Go ahead and move you guys up first. Take that high ground over here. And let's just wait for that move order to finish first before we give this one, in case there's a faster path. Seems to not be the case. Alright. Alright. Looking good. Looking good. 3 turns until you're done. Have to forward the rush. Hang tight over here, actually, until reinforcements arrive. Let's send said reinforcements in closer. That's our turn. Morians picked a fight with the wrong people. Take by call, yeah, is within our territory. I wasn't sure if this was within our territories or not, but it is. And so it is giving us further benefits, as you can see. The influence bonus, the stability, the money. Good stuff. Alright, keep moving forward over here. Beautiful. So it looks like our reinforcements will be here. Again, because it is a larger set of armies, it is a much larger bit of terrain being used. It's unfortunate that they... Oh, you know what? Actually, we'll have access to this high ground over here and more high ground back there as well for our archers. So that's good. I don't know how aggressive they'll be, though. So we'll have to be a little careful about that because, again, we, as the attackers... Oh, they're attacking us, actually. Oh, wonderful. So they'll have to move towards us. Oh, this will work out in our favor. We're stronger overall anyway. What are we up against? They've got... Oh, that's us. We can't see what they've got. We'll deal with it. It won't be a problem at all. This is almost done. We can pay for this now. Get that stability back up a little bit. Sure, go for it. There you go. You can see it creeping on up. And then we'll work on these Maker's Quarters, take advantage of those Marrow Pyramids. And I would like to build the Great Obelisk as well. Though, again, for that, we would like to take the Merchant Quarters as well, right? The other thing as well to note is... oh, we don't have any districts that do it quite yet. But there is a lot of scientific exploitation to be had up over here, as you can see on some of these spots. So we'll want to try and take advantage of that as well eventually, I suppose. But for now, we're okay. I think that's everything that we can do this turn. I have enough influence to attach even more spots, but again, I would like to take advantage of this simultaneous construction that's going on. We're not going to rush that. Yeah, I suppose we wait for some of those constructions to get done. We'll wait for the Maker's Quarters to get done. Our research is going at a decent rate. We'll get standing armies soon, give access to our Shotalaya as we go to war with the Morians. This battle shouldn't be too much of a struggle, but folks, we'll have to wait and see next time. We've reached that hour mark that I'd like to try and keep these to. I hope you've been enjoying this series. A bit more warring than I had initially anticipated when I said we were going to do the single city merchant run. But hey, at least you can see what it's like being a single city spreading across an entire continent, at least so far, maybe eventually later the world. And we will have some competitors on this continent of ours. The Hittites seem to be gaining strength. They have a vassal now. The Mycenaeans, of course, on the back foot, which is helpful for us. And they've basically surrendered the entire north to us as well. Next time, I'm hoping to grow even further, capture some of these pearls, maybe even move out over here. Hopefully, we'll be able to take to sea. And let's take a look at our star situation, actually. We've got to make a lot of money to gain the fame and the stars over here. Technology, we're getting there. I'm very confused about the expansionist situation, though. That should have worked. We should have gone from 6 to 7. Maybe I got something wrong there. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but I'm pretty sure that should have gone up from 6 to 7. We're very close to the next Aesthete star, so that's good. And the next Builder star as well. When we finish the Maker's Quarters, maybe we build 2 Maker's Quarters to take us up to 16, the Obelisk to take us up to 17, and then something else to take us to that 18. And destroying enemy military units we'll be doing as we dive into this war as well. So looking pretty good. I think very soon we'll get maybe 3 or 4 era stars in quick succession. Very close to that next era. Very close to that medieval era. Can't wait for that. But folks, this is what we're calling it a session today. Again, I hope you've been enjoying. If you have, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. It makes a massive difference in just how I approach content on the channel. Lets me know what you guys are interested in, what I should do more or less of, how I should go about doing it. If you have any feedback, any opinions, drop those down below as well. But for now, this is the session, sorry folks, and so I will say a massive thanks to all of the channel members and patrons who have been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Again, y'all keep us alive and running smoothly, and of course a big ol' thanks to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.